Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel where skincare is all about progression over perfection because perfection doesn't exist. Listen, I wasn't going to record this, but I'm just jumping on because within the last 24 hours, of not when this video is being posted, this is like a few days later, I have been, listen, I'm going to talk about Kim Kardashian's pre-launch skincare because never before in my YouTube career, other than Trisha Paytas for some reason, have I been asked and sent so many DMs about my opinion on Kim Kardashian's skincare launch. So I'm just going to be sharing in this video my initial thoughts, controversies about the pre-launch, what we kind of know already, and really my personal thoughts and opinions, and honestly, why I'm kind of intrigued. Let's see. So I saw this on Trend Mood, and they posted that Kim Kardashian is going to be launching her skincare line that consists of 9 products: a cleanser, a toner, an exfoliator, a hyaluronic acid serum, a vitamin C8 serum, eye cream, face cream, oil drops, and night oil. We'll dive into the products in a little bit, a bit more. They are all on the pricier side, collectively all costing $630. Now, do I think that's a bad thing? No, I think that brands always launch stuff people can't afford. I don't think routines like skincare in general needs to be anywhere near that price for it to be good or effective. But honestly, I'm not sure why people expect affordability from Kim Kardashian, especially in the kind of way that she's going. She's like one of the faces of Balenciaga at the moment. She's very much known for these high fashion things. I think, like, from what I know, would it be nice for brands to always launch stuff that's more on the affordable side, what the majority of people consider affordable? Yes. Does that mean brands can't launch luxury items? No, I don't think so. Will I be buying this? I'll try, but it will be a business cost. In fact, Kim was actually asked about the affordability of her products. This was like the New York Times, I think it was. And she said, it's definitely more prestige. And in order to get the types of ingredients that I would not really miss out on, it was kind of a necessity. She goes on to say that the products she was using that were comparable were way more expensive, not to compare anything. I tried to get the quality for the best price that we could, especially the vitamin C serum. I kind of disagree with that statement. I mean, that's her opinion. I can't disagree with it. But I think if The Ordinary has taught us anything, is that skincare doesn't have to be expensive in order for it to be good. You may get nicer formulations with more expensive skincare, but again, that isn't always the case. Some of the most popular skincare around nowadays is drugstore skincare that's all under £10, sometimes even a £5. I appreciate that this brand is very much her. It looks modern. It looks like you see in a modern art museum, you know, that you'd look at and you'd be like, I don't get it, but it looks fine. Do I like the price? No. I think that you have a lot of younger people who like her and don't necessarily have that sort of disposable income. Even people in their late 20s, mid 20s aren't going to drop $600 or more on a skincare routine. They're just not. But I think it's going to be interesting to see if this really does attract the luxury market, La Mer kind of style stuff, because I feel that's the way she wants to go with her, who she is as a person and a brand. They will have refillable packaging that costs about 15% less than the full price products. So looking at it, we do have 9 products, and there seems to be a little bit of a link between that, and some people are kind of saying it's inspired by the 9-step Korean skincare routine. With Kim actually mentioning herself that she doesn't always use all the products in one go, and you do hear from some of the promotional material that's already out that, you know, some of these products aren't to be used every day. And really, in my opinion, I feel like the amount of products she's launched is decent. I think we all know by now you're not expected to use every one of these products in one routine. And I also think we all know that new brands, can't just drop a sunscreen. I think we all know how long it really takes to create a decent sunscreen and test it. And after the sunscreen palaver we had a couple of years back, I think we'd rather wait for good sunscreens to come out than have these half-assed sunscreens that aren't actually protecting us. Kim actually says about her 9-step routine that she wants to stay true to exactly what she uses, even if everyone was saying this is overwhelming. And it does seem pretty true to what she uses. She says it might seem scary to some, but she says that's why she's here, to break it down, to be like, they're all necessary. And whilst I would say these are all nice types of products to have in your skincare collection to use interchangeably throughout the week, they aren't all necessary. Like, you don't have to use any of these. I think especially the oils aren't a necessity. I find the fact that there's a night oil and oil drops a bit of an odd choice. Like, do we really need 2 oils? I guess until we know the full ingredients and what they actually consist of, we're not really gonna know. For me personally, I don't understand 2 oils. I think it would have been nicer to have 2 different moisturizer options, a lighter daytime one and a thicker night cream. But yeah, again, we'll look at all the products separately in a bit. She said that she's worked with some of the people that she respects the most in the beauty industry to create these products. And then she goes on to say that she wanted to create products that were solutions for her everyday skin problems. She's worked with an esthetician and celebrity facialist, Joanna Check, who has been in the industry for 35 years. And when speaking to New York Times, said that all the products were created from scratch and that people don't anticipate more from celebrities than olive oil. And this launches on June the 21st at 9 a.m. EST. Okay, here are my thoughts. Is this a cash grab? Anyone launching anything, releasing anything is doing it for money. To truly think that someone is launching something just because it feels natural to them and they just want to do it, they'd be lying. It's a lie. Everyone launches something to make money. It's a business. No one's putting stuff out there to lose money, you know? When it comes to a cash grab, it's whether or not this makes sense as a brand related to that person. I always say, I'm not a huge fan of the Kardashians in the sense that I don't know a lot about them, but this makes sense to me. In fact, anything beauty related makes sense to me because as a brand, they are all about the way they look and the cosmetics they use. I put them on that with influencers, like any kind of beauty influencer launching something like this would kind of make sense. It's her brand, it's part of her life, it's part of who she is. You know, doing her skincare routine isn't just her doing her skincare, it's part of her whole branding, but also makes sense to me as a lady who has worked with some of the top people there is to know in the beauty business. I want to know what they've come up with together. And I want to say this now before I get into other things. Point 2, when I first saw on Instagram that she was launching this skincare line, I was like, okay, here we go. Filters, full faces of makeup, pretending they're not wearing makeup, Kim pretending to wash her face, you know, but without ruining her eyebrows or touching her face. But so far, I've been very pleasantly surprised by the content that's been posted on their Instagram. Sure, there's a picture of Kim Kardashian in full glam, like posing for this, but the models look, I do feel that there's like a little bit of retouchery and maybe some natural makeup looking when it comes to the models on the actual campaign, which to be honest with you, isn't anything new. I'm not saying it's right, but it's what's done. I don't think it should be. I don't think that's right. What I'm impressed by is the actual videos we're seeing of Kim using the products. So, and even in some of the imagery, we're seeing dark circles, chapped lips. In the videos, we're seeing redness, blemishes, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, pores, texture. Is like what we want to see in actual skincare advertising. So I was actually shocked when I saw that because it's not what I expect. The packaging, I love the packaging. This sounds like I'm really like sucking up, but you know how I've called the Kardashians out many times and I will continue to do so. But this packaging, it speaks to me. I know a lot of people thought this was boring. I have two tastes, right? Tacky, colorful bits everywhere, or completely stark, modern, no tat, nothing, no clutter, just plain. And I posted saying how much I like this over on my Instagram. A lot of people like it's boring. As I said, it reminds you of that modern art you don't quite understand, but like it looks nice. It looks really nice to look at. And I know a lot of people think packaging isn't everything when it comes to skincare. I personally like my packaging to look nice. I like my skincare on display. I don't want to have to hide it in a cupboard next to the CeraVe, you know? I can see this line in my bathroom all lined up in the order that I want to use it, without it looking like clutter, without it looking like it doesn't belong there. It looks like it's part of the room. And that's what I really, really enjoy about this. I think it was quite a clever idea. But also when it comes to refilling, I think the simplicity of this packaging makes it easier to make it refillable. Possibly? Is that something? I think so. Let's move on to the actual products. And remember, we can't review products just based on the ingredient list alone. Formulation is everything, the quality of those ingredients, the formulator themselves, etc. But I just want like initial opinion. Okay, so we have the Gentle Foaming Cleanser, which is $43 and $37 refill. They say that this is a mild cleansing and hydrating formula that helps to purify and condition the skin while retaining moisture in the upper skin layer, leaving it clean and supple. Sounds like it's going to be a very average, run-of-the-mill, non-stripping cleanser. They have an acidic and enzymatic exfoliating toner. They say this is a skin renewing toner that gently prepares the skin for the rest of the ritual by helping to plump, smooth, and micro exfoliate. They then have the mechanical and enzymatic exfoliator, a double mechanical and enzymatic exfoliator that gently helps promote skin resurfacing to leave the skin feeling soft and smooth. They then have their multi-molecular weight hyaluronic acid serum for long-lasting moisture and hydration, reducing appearance of fine lines. Their vitamin C8 serum, a powerful serum with a high dose of vitamin C8 that helps boost collagen synthesis and slows down the appearance of aging. Their moisturizing eye cream, a gentle peptide eye cream that helps preserve elasticity and it helps reduce puffiness, appearance of fine lines, etc. The firming face cream, an indulgent and comforting face cream enriched with postbiotics and overall skin nourishment and a more youthful look. Their vitamin C spiked oil drops, a supercharged oil made from an active form of vitamin C to help even complexion, reduce appearance of pores, and immediately promotes radiant and glowy looking skin. Then the night oil, which is a nourishing elixir that works overnight to help deliver youthful, even, and radiant skin by morning. First of all, I don't feel like these are anything new. It's honestly a bit repetitive to see every brand come out with a hyaluronic acid serum, a vitamin C serum. I'm surprised there's not a niacinamide serum in here, because I feel like those are the three things that every brand does. Every single brand does. The toner I'm happy to see. I feel like no brands launch with a toner. This does sound like a very gentle exfoliating toner. And I just like toners being an easy way to hydrate the skin. They say it micro exfoliates. So I love to know what exfoliant it has in there. I'm guessing it might be like a PHA or something, because you have that enzymatic gentle exfoliant. So I'm guessing it's going to be something gentle like PHA, and then I'm guessing like pineapple or papaya or pumpkin. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what that is. The oils I'm just not interested in. The moisturizing eye cream sounds fine. The firming face cream sounds like it'll be a nice evening moisturizer for me. Cleanser, fine. I mean, I'm a little underwhelmed, to be honest with you, by the first look of these products, as in what they actually are. And I'll be honest, if it wasn't for the packaging and the person behind this brand, I don't think the products would be half as intriguing. Like, we all know these products. We've all used these products before, just with different packaging and a different brand name, you know? But what interests me is I know Kim Kardashian has some really good connections. She must do, right? She must have some really good connections in the industry, and it's the collaboration between those connections, those professionals, merged with Kim's taste that intrigues me, you know? Because you can't compare, for example, Glossier's niacinamide and zinc serum to The Ordinary's. They're two very different things. So I'm interested to see her take on what I consider pretty basic ingredients, products. Kim actually said about her products. I talked about this earlier on in the year, and we knew that this was going to be a clean beauty brand. Kim said herself, you experience refillable packaging and clean, science-backed ingredients designed to nourish all skin types, tones, and textures at all stages of maturity. Clean, I believe, is a real push from the parent company. I forgot what they're called. But saying clean and science-backed is like saying the rain was dry. Do you know what I mean? They don't really belong in the same sentence. Honestly, let's talk about the name, because there's been a bit of controversy about the name already, unsurprisingly coming from a Kim Kardashian launch. Here's my opinion, but it doesn't excuse certain things. The name is crap. The name is crap. Can we just agree that any variation of the word skin for a skincare brand is a terrible idea? First of all, it's lazy and shit. Second of all, you're going to get these legal issues because it's so obvious that everyone's going to do it. There's a boutique studio called Skin, SKKN Plus. They filed a lawsuit against the trademark, which was actually filed. They filed it just days before Kim's team filed their trademark. However, Cindy Lunsford, who is the Black business owner of Skin Plus, I guess we pronounce that, has been using the name since 2017. We've seen this a lot recently with the Natasha Denona skin glass thing going on. Trademark your shit. If you've been using it for years and years, Cindy Lunsford has been using Skin Plus since 2017. For 5 years, she's been using it and she only just trademarked it in March. Do you know what I mean? It's like, trademark your stuff. Also, Lori Harvey, another American celebrity, also has a skincare line called SKN for skin. I'm not saying anyone is in the right or wrong here, but if you're going to call your skincare line Skin or skincare business anything to do with skin, you're going to face these legal issues. It's like calling your new line of pasta, or your new eyeshadow palette eye. You know, you're going to run into these problems. There is something to be said about the Kardashians constantly appropriating and benefiting off Black culture for years and years and years. We know that Kim Kardashian initially appropriated Japanese culture when she called Skims initially was called kimono. Like, why would you do that? It's so stupid. So could the copying of the Black-owned business Skin Plus be more than just coincidence? Maybe not, maybe, I don't know. But it's a bit, you question it when it constantly happens. Is it a publicity thing? Is this something that's done on purpose to draw up attention? I know YouTubers do it. I don't know. So will I be racing to buy this brand? I won't be staying awake to purchase it. I will be actively trying to get my hands on it. We all know I'm not going to be on the PR list for this one. I often call out the Kardashians for filtering and their poor advertising ethics, and I will continue to do so. This brand as a standalone brand interests me. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think it's worth it. I don't want people spending their money on this. I will happily do it for you. Let me know in the comments down below. All your opinions, just sound off down below. Keep it respectful though. You can watch some more product reviews here, some general light entertainment here, and I will see you over there.